everybody. I'm going to change the title of this one. It's going to be called Under the Dome. I'll tell you why in a second. All right. So, a lot of you guys think I am a FBR. Not FDR, FBR. FDR is Franklin Delano Roosevelt. FBR is full-blown retard for entertaining the thoughts of flat Earth or us living in a dome. And I'm going to show you tonight why I do. And I'm still not saying we live in it under a dome at all. But there is a mystery going on with that moon. Let's talk about the dome. And there is a level of intelligence where any talk of flat Earth or living under a dome sounds insane. You have to understand it could mean a million things. It could be literal. It could be metaphorical. There's something going on. So I was thinking about Disney. Thinking a lot about Disney. You ever think about the symbol of Disney World? What is that? What's that thing over the castle? What the hell is that? And I asked friends, what is that thing over Disney World? So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, what is that? I'll tell you what that is. It's a dome. I was like, is it just that? No. Disney World is under a dome. And right now you got just trust me, right? Trust me for a little bit. Trust me for a little bit. Because right now you're thinking, oh, Big Bear, that's simply a rainbow, or maybe it's a fairy wings. That is a dome. And why does it matter? Why does that matter? Why does all this dome imagery matter? Because Walt Disney was best friends with Wernher von Braun, the guy who started NASA, the guy who designed the Saturn rocket that allegedly went to the moon. We never went to the moon. Oh, that's just one picture? No. Walt Disney and Wernher von Braun were literally best friends. They worked together all the time. Why is that important? Oh, Wernher von Braun was a scientist who built the Saturn rocket that got us to the moon. On his tombstone, Wernher von Braun has one thing, Psalm 19:1. Well, what does that mean, Big Bear? I'll tell you. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. The firmament is a dome. That's interesting. How do people not find this interesting? The Disney symbol is the world under a dome. Disney was best friends with the guy who said, quote unquote, to get to the moon, we would need a rocket ship the size of the Empire State Building and then refuel. There was no way they were getting to the moon. Wernher von Braun was a genius Nazi that we got from Operation Paperclip, and he's the father of NASA, right? He's also best friends with Walt Disney. And on his tombstone is one biblical passage, just one. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Firmament is a dome. Okay, so let's recap. Disney's image is the world under a dome. Disney is best friends with Wernher von Braun. Von Braun, his only thing on his tombstone is Psalm 19:1, which says that not only God exists, but you can see his handiwork in the firmament, which is a dome. And some people say it's not a dome. Some people say it was that King James, but Wernher von Braun was a Lutheran, so he was probably reading the King James version, which says firmament, which is a dome. The astronauts can't even agree if they saw stars. They erased the telemetry data. They couldn't have done a live broadcast. They said that they no longer have the technology to go back. And of course, no other country ever went there ever. It's a joke. So when you're dealing with that, you know, Big Bear, I've heard you address the fact that there are different stars are seen in the southern hemisphere. Moon landing was hoaxed, but Earth is a globe, in my opinion. I still think the Earth is a globe. That's the craziest thing. I don't know why, though. I find this all very curious. The story is different than the science, which is different than the anomalies, which is different than... It's fascinating. And I can honestly say no one knows. And that sounds crazy, but like all these people, they're like, it's flat, look at this, blah, blah, blah. And then I can disprove a lot of their shit. And then the sphere, it's also like, well, what about all this shit? I can't, I find it very, very interesting because it isn't as obvious as people think. And like, I have enough confidence in my intellect where I dismiss the whole like, you're a retard if you think. Probe to Venus, which is a notably satanic planet, is 1965. Does that not give you a little chill? I mean, look at some of this stuff. Hang on, wait till you see. Look at this. There's some things that are very weird. Yeah, look at this. Saturn. This is a better picture. This is a real picture. Not real, my ass. I don't even know. But this is from NASA. I'm quoting NASA. I'm not showing doctored anything. This is NASA's a bunch of liars, granted, obviously, but just hear me out. This is Saturn's pole. What is that? 1 side, 2 side, 3 side, 4 side, 5. It's a 6-sided storm. Guys, that's really weird. What storm have you ever seen that looks like that for eternity? It's been like that for, observably, for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. It's a 6-sided, like, sided storm. That's fucking crazy. And there's people that are like, well, I mean some storms and they're no. CGI Big Bear? That's from NASA. All I'm saying, listen, whether or not that's real, I can't say because I don't know. That's from NASA. That's from NASA. That's from NASA. That Saturn, the pole of Saturn is a fucking hexagon. Hex. That's weird. It's weird. People are, and I get so suspicious of the people that are like, well, I mean, it's easy to explain. I mean, storms. No, there's no storm you've ever witnessed or can conceive of that operates like that for eternity, for hundreds of years, observably. No. Hex 6, yeah. It's also, guys, I mean, obviously, doesn't take a genius to fill in the blocks that that's the fucking Star of David. It's the Star of David, right? You want to see, I'll show, I mean, a lot of people don't get the visuals in their head right away, I think. So, I'm big into symbol. Because symbols rule the world, and they do. Just look at, guys, I mean, it's right there. It's, Star of David is the pole of Saturn. That's the pole of Saturn. Oh, where'd you get that? Where'd you get the picture? NASA. I got that picture from NASA. But, no. I don't trust satellites either, bro. Someone just said I don't trust satellites. That doesn't matter. NASA gave us this image that that's the pole of Saturn. Is a fucking hexagon. Days to get to the moon and landed, then no gas station or push up from below, and we came out. We didn't go to the moon. Everyone has to abandon that nonsense. The odds we went to the moon are zero. Zero. Zilch. And people have tried to debate me. It's not, you won't win. There's no evidence we went to. It's one of the few times you can prove a negative.